And yes, obviously, one of the greatest questions that I was bumped into, which of the Abrahamic religions of the world is the best? See, I'm not sure why people live in this constant drama train in which something always has to be the best. Yes, if something doesn't suit you much, I'm not sure why you would call it the best. See, religion in life shouldn't be your alpha nor your omega. It should be just a set of beliefs that each and every individual adheres to and simply follows one way or another from a more subjective or a more objective approach as well. It shouldn't be the centerpiece of your life. See, the point is, if we are to take them by definition, by their name, right, Orthodoxy in the end should be the only true religion because that is what its name says. Well, it is not a repulsive one because its name is translated as the right path. It doesn't say necessarily that you're going a wrong path if you're not Orthodox, but this is what its name says. Yes? Catholicism is a bit more oriented towards the paternal aspect of life or the masculine energies, while Orthodoxy is generally oriented towards inclusion and a lot more communion. The opinions about the Bible, yes, they differ, but I'm not interested into that. When you take Islam into account, if I don't call it wrong, I heard that the name Islam itself means ultimate submission. Honestly, I'm not here to point out this or that about religions themselves because when you look at Islam, I'm not interested, like, I don't understand why I should live my life in ultimate submission to something because submission only makes me look like a slave, not like a devotee. A devotee is someone who gives their energies in a conscious way towards something greater than themselves. A fanatic is someone who gives their energies in an unconscious way, in a compulsive way, right? And there's a fine difference in between the two. Nowadays, well, throughout the times, throughout the thousands of years, we can look at each and every religion, and they kind of have been, well, the Abrahamic ones, they have been overwhelmed by fanatics one way or another. If we look at Judaism, obviously none of them, well, I think there's only one form of Judaism, yes. I think, I don't know. But obviously it hasn't been, a saintly religion much. When we look at Islam, obviously, we cannot skip the genocides and conquests and the such that they've done. When we look at Catholicism and Christianity, obviously there have been a lot of murders done. Whether one was the initiator or the other one retaliated. In a world of compulsions, obviously one will be more genocidal, more maniac than the others. Whoever gets, the grip in a war, obviously will unleash their fury, right? And each of these three Abrahamic religions obviously have done their fair share of criminal deeds. When you look, though, at Orthodoxy, typically it has been a more stagnant one, a less malignant one, and kind of one way or another, it endured throughout the ages. It endured the wrath of the Catholics, in a way. If we are to look, for example, at Romania, the Orthodox country that, was bullied by kind of, let's say, all three Abrahamic religions. Hungary was Catholic, right? The Ottomans were Muslims. And let's not forget influences from Judaism, or, well, better said, the Zionism itself, which is a different form in a way, but it still has the racist aspects of the Talmud. Now, when we look at religions themselves, religions are a set of virtues, or they should be a set of virtues that you follow. Their history and the such, their magical books, or whatever you call them, they shouldn't count necessarily much. When you look, for example, at Christianity, what is most important in Christianity are the teachings of the being that they consider as holy, right? Jesus Christ. Or, well, whatever we have portrayed as Jesus Christ. Those virtues portrayed about him are technically that which everyone should follow. In the end, one should not consider themselves Christians because they should consider themselves a follower of Christ, right? Just like Muslims are not necessarily Muslims in a way, they are followers of Muhammad because everyone has Every one of these religions typically has a few select beings that they regard as the highest ones and that they follow. Because Muslims also believe in Jesus Christ, but they also believe in a different version of him, right? Judaism also believes in their own points of view. So the point is, when we take all of these religions, obviously the ones who are religious, the ones who are pious, let's say, they wouldn't care much because in a way, each of these three religions kind of portray the same aspect. There is one being that you should worship, there is one being that you shouldn't, and well, there are some helpers or things like that, and there are important people who have brought some kind of, help or aid towards not only humans but also to the religion itself. Now, when we look at religions from a ignorant standpoint, the biggest problem with religions is that they're all about making you weak in a way that you simply can't realize in most situations because ignorant people can't observe too many things. See, the problem with religion is it fails to observe life because what a religion tells you, all their books tell you that you should worship a being that is somewhere out there in the skies, right? And then if you take a scientific person, they will tell you, no, 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 I can't believe in humans as gods, right, living in heaven, because, right, we've got astronomy that went beyond, right? We've got science that went beyond the skies. We've got satellites and the such. And guess what? There is nothing beyond the skies, right? Just an infinite space. Well, it's not that infinite as you might think, but, well, that's a point. So, subjectivity is also another killer because whatever people entrench themselves meaning wise, it's kind of hard to pull them out. Some people easily can end up saying that their religion is the best thing in the world because they feel calmer when they embrace some of its practices or some of its music or when they read some of the holy books and the such, right? So when we are to think about things like this, there is no such thing as a best religion, especially when all of those three kind of portray the same important point. A religion means something that you should simply follow for yourself. Why religions fail life is because people forget one thing. Life is something that exists within you. Your life is, well, the totality of the energies that comprise you. You're comprised of multiple layers of energy, or, well, whatever you want to call them, but these only exist within you. All the layers of awareness, they exist in multiple, well, they are layers, obviously, so these dimensions exist in layers, and you're a confluence of those. Through you only, you can perceive those. When you become more spiritual, let's say, and certain phenomena happen to you, those happen within you. They don't happen outside of you, they don't happen within the planet, they don't happen outside the planet. The planet itself experiences those dimensions as well on its own level. Yes, because it is also a living organism just like everything around. So those dimensions within you, you can experience those only within you, right? Why do Muslims pray, right? Why do they pray? Because they hope that they can access some of those dimensions, right? And how can anyone access those? Within you. Why do Christians pray? The same response. Why do the Judaists pray? The same response. Because all of these are just dimensions from within. But since misery and ignorance have overwhelmed the planet and, well, humanity especially, well, the problem is that fanatics and narcissists and people with huge lacks of attention require to vampirize attention. That is why the idea of priesthood, from a certain standpoint, appeared. Because people who lack attention can easily become priests because it's a place where you just say things. You don't even necessarily need to mean those. Because the people who are going to believe those, who are going to trust in those, they're just going to come and they're going to give their energy willingly, right? Because each religion, don't forget, they teach you that you have to put your energy somewhere out there, right? And narcissists can easily farm you of your energy. That is why you have so many priests, probably imams and the such, who don't care much about their religion because they're shallow enough, right? They can't care about your necessities, your well, passion for mysticism and the such. They just want their fair share of attention, right? Don't forget that the whole world, a whole sick society, is nothing else but a race. Whoever gains more attention wins, right? Look at the mainstream media. What is it else other than drama, right? So this one will sooner or later, this idea of drama, will sooner or later soak the entire society into it, right? Religion or not, it will be soaked into it anyways. Education, business, all of those will be simply soaked into it. Even when you look at the, uh, one of the domains that should have been probably the most objective ones, aka video games, has become so subjective and dramatic, right? When you look at those, there's drama even in video games. A video game is just a bunch of pixels and some sounds, and well, you are supposed to experience that video game from all the possibilities that it can offer you. But people get too attached to meaning, to characters, to whatever, and they make a drama out of it. Similarly, now with religions, well, people have been making drama out of those as well. Nowadays, with a certain sense of free speech and, well, the internet as well, which can connect people and minds alike, a lot of people end up, unfortunately, in just that dramatic pit hole where they just, everything that they believe in must be the only truth, right? So, this being said, hopefully this video raised a bit of awareness. You are appreciated. Take care, enjoy life, and this being said, Ferenc Board signing out.